Why the fuck is Thanos in the game? Sing, 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 sing. Why is that in the game? Sing, sing.
What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to go over the 10 most controversial things Epic Games has done with Fortnite. Epic is well known for adding overpowered weapons and items into this game with very little testing. To very many players and streamers, the most annoying thing Epic does is add these overpowered weapons to the game, and they usually take a long time to fix these items. Them doing this has caused many dedicated players to quit their game entirely while they cater to the casual players. With all that being said, let's get into the 10 most controversial things Epic has done with Fortnite. At number 10, we have the jetpack. Introduced in Content Update 4.2, the jetpack came into this game as a new weapon type called backpacks. It was a first of its kind, and at first, it was beloved by many. It was the first time Epic ever added more of a futuristic item into this game, but very soon after its release, the item became very annoying to players considering you didn't have to build at all. The only thing the players had to do was fly over buildings and shotgun people. It turned into you needing a jetpack, or you would simply just die to someone with one. Even though this item was overpowered, it's one of the coolest items Epic has added to the game, but it isn't meant to be in the actual game modes as solo, duos, and squads. It should only be in LTMs, and that's exactly where it is right now. It's fly explosives and close encounters. At number 9, we have the drum gun. On July 3rd, 2018, the drum gun came into this game with Content Update 4.5. It was described by Epic as a hybrid weapon that combines the stopping power of a rifle with the suppressive ability and fire rate of an SMG. It dealt 26 body damage with the green variant and 27 body with the blue. If that doesn't sound overpowered to you yet, it also had a 50 bullet size magazine, the second highest magazine in the game behind the LMG. This item was the final blow to kick Fortnite into the worst meta it has ever been in, with that meta being the spray meta. Casual players were able to kill top players in the game by just holding left click or R2 and just spraying. So let's just hope this item never returns to Fortnite.
These fucking season 5 bots, dude. Shit.
At number 8, we have the original compact SMG, also better known as the P90. With update 5.10 came the P90. It dealt 23 and 24 base damage depending if you had an epic or legendary variant. Like the drum gun, it came into the game with a 50 round magazine, but was quickly nerfed after people were getting absolutely lasered. This gun was so overpowered, it drew comparisons to Thanos in the Thanos LTM. I'll show that clip right now. Thanos was meant to be OP, and this gun came to the game, and Epic thought this gun was going to be okay. This gun would be so much higher on my list if Epic didn't step in and fix the gun just a couple hours after it was released. P90 got a huge nerf it needed and continued being a very good gun for months, but it never was the gun it once was. At number 7, we have the rocket splash damage. Brought in update 6.21, 25% of explosive damage would penetrate through structures and the environment. This is one of the dumbest things Epic has done with Fortnite, and many question how Epic even thought this was a good idea. No matter how much you built, the rocket would just do splash damage through the structure, making RPGs the most OP item in the game. This function was quickly reverted after severe backlash from the community for once again catering to the casuals that just had to spam RPG rockets to kill the better players. Here are some of the streamers' reactions to this being added to the game.
Such BS much wow, such BS much wow, and this is why this update is shit. Just rocket and they die.
Damage? Damage?
No, there is.
Damage? Damage?
That is ridiculous.
Dude, this is so dumb, man. What are they thinking over there at Epic?
I don't know what they're thinking, bro. I don't know what they're thinking.
At number 6, we have the original guided missile. In patch 3.4, Epic brought the guided missile into Fortnite, where you take control of the rocket as a first-person POV and drive around the map, exploding people while camping in a house or a 1x1. The player had 18 seconds to find a player and hit them. The rocket did 105 damage with an epic rarity and 110 with a legendary variant. This weapon took very little skill at all, and it came down to the point where players would camp on top of mountains and rain rockets down on others with no counter to the weapon at all. It wasn't a terrible item for solos because you'd pretty much leave your body and take control of the rocket, allowing others to kill you while you're inside the rocket. But in duo and squad game modes, it was extremely overpowered since your teammates could protect you while you guided the rocket. Eventually, Epic nerfed the speed and turn rate of the rocket after a long month, then ultimately vaulting the item a week after the nerf on April 18th, 2018. The item made a return in Content Update 5.10 but was nerfed so hard it was unusable and useless. It was eventually vaulted once again in Update 6.21 in November of 2018. At number 5 we have the shotgun nerf that was brought to us in Fortnite's patch 4.3. The nerf reduced the headshot multiplier, both the pump and the tactical shotgun, from 2.5 down to 2.0, and the base damage of the pump down from 90 and 95 down to 80 and 85 with the green and blue pump. This means the max damage with the best pump in the game was 170. With many fast and high powered spray weapons coming to the game around the time of the shotgun nerf, caused the game to go into the worst stage it has ever been in, with many players and pros calling it the spray meta. This meta was the least skillful meta since Fortnite's release and caused many players during this time to quit the game, especially since it lasted until the shotguns got the buff it needed in patch 6.31, making shotguns great once again. At number 4 we have Fortnite. In October, Epic was hyping up an in-game event slowly throughout the month for Halloween. And in patch 6.20 on October 23rd, Fortnite came out with an event called Fortnite. Fortnite was the crossover between the Battle Royale side of Fortnite and the Save the World side, bringing cube monsters into the Battle Royale game. Cube monsters are basically zombies that would attack you and break down your structures. This event split the community into two, and you either loved it or hated it. The more casual players liked it because it gave them something else to do, while the better players hated it since while they were fighting the zombies would interrupt the fighting and break down the structures or just annoy them while they're trying to heal. The event lasted 2 weeks and the zombies were taken out the game in patch 6.22, and the zombies eventually came back with the Ice King event despite the hate Epic got the first time around. At number 3 we have the removal of shield and mats per kill. In patch 7.40, Epic implemented these adjustments: 50 health or shield after eliminating an enemy, 50 of each material dropped after eliminating an opponent, and 40% faster farming. These adjustments were loved by the community and many praised Epic for bringing light to the game after months of boring gameplay. This made the game so much less RNG and added a skill gap. Players didn't have to sit around and farm mats the entire game, or just die off spawn because they didn't find any shield after eliminating 3 or 4 enemies. This function brought new light into a dying game after many players were quitting for the new Battle Royale, Apex Legends. But in patch 8.20, Fortnite reverted this update with the following statement. In V7.40, we implemented a few pop-up cup settings as a test in core game modes. After monitoring a combination of gameplay, data, and feedback, we've gathered necessary info to conclude this initial test. We feel it has resulted in an unhealthy level of aggressive play, diminishing other viable strategies. Many streamers and players were outraged by these changes, with people calling out Epic Games and spamming revert the update all over Fortnite's social media for weeks, if not months. Despite the outcry from the community, Epic never reverted the changes, basically slapping their entire community in the face. At number 2 we have the X4 Stormwing plane. Brought at the start of Season 7, the plane was a 5-person vehicle that had a mounted machine gun on it, and could break through structures with a built-in boost mechanic. Many players hated how overpowered it was since you just had to drive around and fly into enemy builds to break them down, resulting in the death of the players fighting. It was the ultimate third-party machine and it was hell for most players. Epic nerfed the plane after about 2 weeks of it being in the game, but it was still very overpowered. It remained overpowered for the majority of the season despite being nerfed a couple times. Epic then decided to vault the controversial vehicle at the start of the next season. At the number 1 spot on this list, we have the Infinity Blade. Epic brought this mythic melee weapon that dealt major damage and destroyed structures with a single blow. It was added to the game with patch 7.01 on December 11, 2018. This item was immediately hated by everyone. I'm actually not sure if anyone even enjoyed this weapon the few days it was in this game. It was without a doubt the most powerful thing Epic has ever added into this game. It dealt 75 damage with every swing that hit you, and you could catapult yourself into the air, slamming the sword into the ground, causing 25 splash damage. With those incredibly strong numbers, it even gets worse. The amount of health the player holding the sword had was stupid. They had 200 shield and 200 health, making them 2 times stronger than the player that had max shield and max health. The person holding the shield also gained 50 HP after an elimination. This item was added the day of a $1 million tournament, causing the pros to be outraged and showing the entire community how out of touch the developers are with the community. Epic apologized for adding the weapon just 3 days after its release, saying, "Hey yo folks, we messed up rolling out the Infinity Blade overpowered without good counters, especially in the in-game. The Infinity Blade has been vaulted and reevaluating our approach to mythic items. Thanks for calling us out on this. This is a wake up call to many pro players and streamers that Fortnite really isn't a competitive game and that tournaments are just a marketing scheme for Epic. Hopefully Epic can add test servers and have players test out items before adding anything else to the game so we can avoid terrible items coming to the game. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment if I missed anything overpowered. And also make sure you use code Little Hyped in the Fortnite item shop. But peace out.